To start with, let me introduce myself. Mehul Doshi, born and brought up in Mumbai. I've been to your city multiple times. I have lived in RT Nagar, White House, for a couple of years. So that's the thing which I carry from Bangalore. 22 years of industry veteran. Prior to this, worked with organizations like Sun Microsystem, Hitachi. 7 years young in Fujitsu, and product is my business. So anything and everything, what you're talking about product or solutions, that's what I do in Fujitsu India. Well, with this introduction, some raise of hands in terms of the people who saw Fujitsu presentation for the first time today. Anybody who doesn't see people? So many. Yeah. Okay, more than 70–80%, okay. Fine, great. So that makes sense because I know that none of my previous presenters have told you what is Fujitsu all about, right? Good. So let me talk, what is Fujitsu all about first? Credentials of Fujitsu. We're talking about headquarters in Tokyo, Japan, established in 1935. Revenues of 40 billion, operating profit almost 1,000 million. 3.8% we spend on R&D. It means our R&D budget is extremely well. I can talk about a life cycle management of 1 year, 3 years, and 7 years because we do our own R&D. 97,000 patents. Now, this is impressive. Okay, very few organizations in the world, in the current state, what I'm talking about, can give you the first line. Service vendor, #1 service vendor in Japan, #5 in the world. ICT. I'm going to have a slide in over here. Anything and everything which you think on ICT is something which I do. So probably you will be surprised that there is nothing beyond in ICT which we do not do in over here. 156,000 employees across the globe, and Fortune magazine has rated Fujitsu for the 4th consecutive year as the most admired organization to work with. So that's the, in short, a perceived value or the exact values of Fujitsu all about. So that's the Fujitsu, and that's our business, and that's what we do in over here. I put in a slide perpetually over here because I want to talk about that I'm not a supplier to a data center, guys, okay? I own data centers. I own more than 100 data centers. It means I know that it's not the server and the storage only which I have to supply over here, or network which I have to supply over here, or a software. I know what is the power it takes in over here, what is the cooling which it takes in over here, what is the entire ecosystem which goes in the power in the data center, because I own those data centers. More than 100 data centers which I carry across the globe. So that's my business. On the third track, people are talking about the services. I don't want you to miss about the services, so I have a slide for that, in which I talk about, in case you are looking upon a help desk center or a service desk center or a data center practice from Fujitsu, we have the expertise to make 32 languages or plus. So that's the MIS service which we offer in over here. ICT, I spoke a few minutes back about the anything and everything which we talk about. The lowermost layer is the product, guys. When you talk about products, we manufacture our own servers, we manufacture our own storage, in client computing devices, integrated solutions, which we're going to talk about over here, software network and PRS. All this, I do manufacture in my factory, which is in Germany and in Japan. So even a product or a mouse or a keyboard, apart from a server, storage, or an integrated solution which you buy, comes in actually from my German factory. We manufacture in a Euro 3 zone. It means I'm talking about extremely high grade of precision manufacturing and high grade of qualities to be maintained and managed over here. So that's my factory. On the layer of servers, we talk about MIS services. On top of that, we talk about BAS services. And last but not the least, we talk about consulting. To my next slide, which is the product, the division which I handle, which I manage, the business which I take care of is products. On my right, you can see the peripherals, which is right from your keyboard, mouse, anything which you're talking about in peripherals, we do manufacture in our factories. Desktops, which is the Celsius workstations, which we manufacture in over here. Sorry, this is, the laser doesn't be working on over here, okay. The desktop, which is the Celsius workstations, we manufacture zero clients, we manufacture thin clients in our factory. We're talking about IoT devices. In the morning, you would have in the afternoon, you've gone through the keynote speakers. IoT, which are the devices, comes in from our factories again, in various parts of the world where we have factories on IoT. Mobiles. How many people over here have gone through the booth, which is the mobiles, live books? Many? Beautiful mobiles, 800 grams of mobiles, which we're talking about over here in a form factor of 13-inch, 14-inch. We're talking about R726, which is a business tablet, which is a form factor of approximately 11-inch. Very beautiful devices. Very shortly, we're talking about a tablet getting introduced, which is a 6-inch, 7-inch, giving you a power of full Windows 10. That's the power of mobiles, which we're talking about over here. A security solution, we have a booth talking about an end-to-end security solution, not only the Palm Secure, but many more things to look upon. So people think that we can offer an end-to-end security solution. Answer is yes, we do that very skillfully. Softwares, if you're looking in for buying Microsoft, you're looking in for buying Oracle, you're looking in for buying Citrix, VMware, any of the softwares, we do give it integrated in our product portfolio. Okay. On my right, I could see the data center portfolio, which is servers. I'm going to talk about it shortly, about the storage. A colleague of mine, Marcus, who comes in all the way from Germany, very good speaker on this topic, is going to talk about from storage perspective. Solutions, what type of solutions which we deliver in this country? High performance computing, more than 168 customers, smaller and larger, deploying large clusters in this country, which is high performance computing. We do the high performance computing extremely well, and we have many top 500 customers appearing on HPC clusters in this country. Big data and SAP, again, a track which is going on, parallel track over here. Be it anything on SAP, I'm going to talk about over here, and big data. That's the business which we're doing over here. Integrated solutions, we have few slides. So all my solution slides after this, I'm going to talk about a solution which is an eye-opener to you. It's not about servers, it's not about storage, it's about an integrated solutions which carries everything on over here. As promised, I'm going to talk about MIS, so whether you're talking about data center services, infrastructure services, end-user services, RIM management, we do it all. You're talking about the professional services, be it platform integration, be it middleware implementation, network security implementation, third-party integration, we do it all under one roof. We have more than 300 engineers in this country who can give you all the professional services and managing the services what you're talking about over here. These are Fujitsu employees. My last slide in terms of services over here. So in case if you're talking about buying licenses on SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, Salesforce, or Salesforce service you now, you can take it from us. You're talking about deployment, you're talking about integration, you're talking about migration, you're talking about lifecycle management, you're talking about deploying people at your end. We do it all. That's the strength of Fujitsu India, which is capable of right now delivering it. Be it a managed infrastructure service portfolio, be it an application services portfolio, or be it a solution portfolio, which I'm going to talk about, we could deliver you all. So it's a one-stop solution. Customer can look in from Fujitsu India. Few customers which are in the segments of retail, in the financial services, transport, logistics, utilities, public sector, manufacturing, communication, and health. In case if your organization falls in any of these verticals, and if you're looking in for an industry-specific solutions and industry-specific workings over here, we do that. Do get in touch with us after this presentation is over. In case if you fall in any of these verticals and you're looking for your specific industry vertical to have a solution from Fujitsu. We do that. Well, this was all about Fujitsu, globally, ICT portfolio, and India portfolio. My BAS portfolio, my MIS portfolio, my product portfolio, and now I'm going to talk about the solution, which is the PRIMEFLEX solution. Very, very beautiful solution. This is the first time we are presenting on PRIMEFLEX over here. I hope you people enjoy. And during this presentation, in case if you have questions, please feel free to raise your hands and ask me the questions over here. Gentlemen, what is PRIMEFLEX all about? Anybody? Converged infrastructure, very close, very good. What else? Anybody on the right? Yes? Ready to use infrastructure, perfect. So software defined, yes, very good. Sorry? DC in a box, very good, innovative. Hybrid environment, extremely, extremely innovative. Yes? Good. Well, guys, sorry? It's a bundle, absolutely close, okay? Whatever you said, it is all true, whatever we're talking about over here. This is a portfolio which has a integrated hardware, software, and services put together. When I talk hardware over here, it's a hardware could be your server, could be your storage, could be your switch. When I talk software over here, it could be your hypervisor, it could be an OS. And when I talk about service, it is a single service contract, be it hardware, software, or the entire gamut, including security. So that's the power of PrimeFlex. Who are the customers who should look upon this? First is the most looked upon challenge is the reduced budget. Most of the customers who are running in silos over here, having a reduced budget, they should look upon PrimeFlex as an offering over here. Legacy systems, people who want to move from a legacy system, Power, Spark, or something which is in-house built, in-place built, they can look upon PrimeFlex as an opportunity. Insufficient storage, you never know what type of storage you need in future. Rationalization of space, it means you're talking about your current data center and you have no more space, no more power. This is something which can effectively work upon over here. Consolidation of servers, virtualization, it means your application landscape is working in silos. Now you want something which can give you in a one-shot virtualization layer. This is how it comes in through. The people who are looking for transition in cloud, it means the enterprise, the next scale of enterprise we're talking about over here. Last but not the least, security. For the entire gamut of thing, you do not want to see as a piecemeal. You want to have it complete security in the entire stack, and that's what PrimeFlex is all about. What are the values which PrimeFlex brings it to you? Fast, it's reliable, it's simple, and affordable. This is the mantra which we use for PrimeFlex, okay? And how? Okay, let me give you an example, or let me make it a little bit more interactive again over here. For example, in your organization, everybody knows virtualization over here? I don't need to talk about virtualization. If you had to put in a virtualization in your organization, just start the process, or how do you start with a virtualization? If you want, say, for example, 100 VMs, 100 virtual servers you want, what do you start with? Quickly, gentlemen. What do you start with? You start with sizing? Yes? You start with sizing, okay, let me see, okay, I need how many VMs, okay, the size of the VM should be this. Okay, after the VMs is done, okay, what do I need infrastructure to run upon? Should I go on cloud or should I buy it? Okay, I want to buy it. Okay, if I want to buy it, where do I buy it from? With the server vendors. Then you start looking at servers. You start configuring servers. You start talking to your partners to do that. Then what do you do? Okay, what is the backup or what is the storage applying at the back? So you start talking to the storage vendors. Then in between, at the same time, okay, the guy says, okay, sir, I can give switching also. You start talking to Brocade. You start talking to Cisco. You start talking to many switching vendors. And then what do? You start negotiating all. Is it right? So you negotiate with the hypervisor vendor, you negotiate with the server vendor. In case if your storage vendor is separate, you negotiate with the storage vendor, your switching vendor, and then you start mapping your SLAs. The guy will say, sir, I cannot give you a 4-hour CTR over here, so you may have to live with a 24/7 response only. Okay? The guy says, okay, sir, I can give you maximum 3 years or 5 years of SLA. I cannot give you 7 years of SLA. You do a various service contract with 4 or 5 people whom you're working upon over here. Well, I'm talking about a solution in which you can get from 2 VMs to 6,000 VMs in one shelf, in one service contract. It means within 4 weeks to 6 weeks, when it's delivered from my factory, it's ready to use. I'm going to talk about it shortly over here, but look at the time. In case if you have to buy each and every individual component, size it, tune it, and once you bought it that way, everything lands up in your doorstep, and now you start integrating it, and now you go live over here. What is the time span? 4 months for procurement and 4 months for going live. Is it right? It will yield you advantage. What you can see over here is instead of 4 months or 8 months, you go live in flat 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes. So that's what I'm going to talk about over here, from 15 minutes to 60 minutes to probably less than half a day, depending upon how complex is your situation, what is the stack what you're carrying in through, but that's the beauty of the solution, what's PrimeFlex. So once you've decided, as a colleague of mine said, converge or hyper-converge, once you've decided the size, you don't need to go to 4 vendors. It's one vendor who can give you end-to-end solution, and that's PrimeFlex. The flavors of PrimeFlex, in case of the customers, or if you're looking upon buying in PrimeFlex for SAP, call us. Server virtualization, private cloud, Microsoft desktop virtualization, high availability, high performance computing, and big data analytics. Or an open stack, which is beyond all these things. If you think that you're looking in for an organization, or you want to propose as a consultant to your customer who is talking about off-the-shelf or immediate working upon any of these solutions at the back, which are otherwise a complex solution, you could think about Fujitsu to deliver it in 4 to 6 weeks, up and running in 15 minutes to 1 hour. That's the speed at which we could deliver these products and solutions over here. Colleague of mine again mentioned converge and hyper-converge. Well, on my left, you can see hyper-converge, converge. Software-defined, hardware-defined. That's the difference. Okay? So you have solutions giving it from 2 to 200 VMs, and it can go to 2,400 VMs and beyond, which is on an open stack. Beyond this, we have 2 more stacks, which is for SAP HANA and for Hadoop, which I'm going to talk shortly in over here. So the way in which we define our PrimeFlex portfolio is converged, as you rightly said, and hyper-converged. Okay, that's the stack we carry in over here. The first one to come on the block is cluster in a box. Over here, we do a partnership with Microsoft. As you can see, you can go from 200 VMs from 2 VMs to 200 VMs. A combination of a Primergy CX servers along with servers 2012. It's a software-defined solution, highly available, single pane of glass management, scales to 200 VMs. The best part is this one. It's a LED icon showing over here. 15 minutes to the virtualization. It means if you have configured, if you have told back to the factory, when the product gets shipped from the factory, it's along with the licenses. There is no switching network over here because it is software defined. So when it comes to the customer, you will have the size of the VM that you're looking in for. 50, 100, 150, 200 VMs up and running within 15 minutes. I mean it. What I'm talking about over here is 80% less space what is needed and 45% of infrastructure reduction. Okay? That's the power of cluster in the box. One more hyperconverged network. Over here, we work closely with VMware. You can see an application over here. It's a combination of a CX servers on my right, along with the combination of an hypervisor, which is from VMware, which is vSAN 6.2. Highly available virtualization, software defined. We do not have a switching network in over here. It's a 2-click install. 2-click, ready to use. 2 VMs, 200 VMs, 2,000 VMs, ready to use. I'm talking about clustering. 64 hosts, it means 128 processors is something what you can cluster. This is the workhorse, guys. Over here, along with it, you can get 6,400 VMs. Talking about the IOPS, what you can get in over here is 6.4 million IOPS and could scale and address 8.8 petabytes of storage. So that's the power of the vSAN, which you bring along with VMware. Okay. Integrated, completely integrated over here. And the salient feature is 60% reduction in the admin cost. It means when it comes to you, it's ready to use. Your admin doesn't have to do anything in over here other than defining the path to your VMs and loading his applications over here. Extremely fast and 40% reduction in the operating cost. Converge, now I move to the world of the hardware side, which is a solution which we call it as a V-shape, which is for the mid-level customers, mid-shape SMB customers in over here, which we're talking about a combination of a rack servers, which is a flagship product on my servers, along with a combination of a DX or a FAS. FAS is a NetApp portfolio. We work very, very closely with NetApp. So in case if in your organization you have decided a policy of buying or looking at with NetApp, we appreciate and we integrate the products extremely well in our solutions. So that's an FAS portfolio which we're looking upon. Over here you have the switching, which is done by Brocade, and you could use a hypervisor, which could be in either Microsoft or a VMware, to give you VMs which are predefined from 25 VMs, 50 VMs, 100 VMs, 200 VMs. Predefined VMs, the size what you define upon, the thickness, what number cores of you need, what number of power you need, what is the amount of memory per core you need, predefined. When it comes into you, you have one single service contract which you could ask for. 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. One service contract. You don't have to log in a separate thing with Brocade, no separate thing for VMware, no separate thing for Microsoft. It is one Fujitsu who can give you the entire solution. Okay? So that's the power of V-Shape I'm talking about over here. And guys, I could guarantee you 72% times it's better and faster in terms of go-to-market. It means if you're talking about a large ITS company and a large project coming in from a US or whichever part of the world, and you need all of a sudden 200 VMs, you can't think about buying Brocade separately, fast separately, storage separately, server separately, and putting the whole thing, and then going live. Probably it will take minimum 4 to 6 months. Over here, 4 weeks, and a 2-click install, which works fine in over here. So that's the beauty of PrimeFlex and a V-Shape. And I can guarantee you one more thing over here. In case if you think that buying Brocade separately, storage separately, server separately, service contract separately, I integrated myself, and you will get a better rate, answer is no. I would like to challenge any of the customer over here who can say, if I buy all the stacks separately, you can buy it cheaper. No. This solution, which I'm talking about, will be minimum 30% lower if you had to buy things yourself, put yourself, and integrate it yourself. 30% is the bare minimum guarantee which I given on this product and solutions over here. When you go to a higher scale, it's an enterprise solution. Instead of RX, we put into a blade, which is the world's densiest blades, which we have 18 blades in a chassis on 10 new chassis. And we're talking about offering on a similar fundamentals up to 2,400 VMs. The VMs have gone much more higher. And this is typically for the customer who wants to go in cloud or who wants to offer cloud services within their group organization. So in case if you have talking about a cloud infrastructure to be deployed in your organization, this is the PrimeFlex, which you can think about, look upon. And again, the beauty of the solution is one contract with saving of at least 90% of reduction in setup time. Guys, if you have to set up a cloud, it's a massive thing to look upon. The base over here, just by the clicks, and when it comes in from the factory, you have 2,000 VMs up and running for yourself. And that's the power and the speed of V-Shape over here. If you do not want to work with the industry standard products and applications, you still have a choice of an open source. It means if you have an application which is running on the open source, you choose your hypervisor, be it Microsoft, be it Citrix, be it an open source hypervisor, but those entire thing which you could build for you is a PrimeFlex on an open source stack. The fundamentals remain the same, a combination of a server, storage, network, along with a hypervisor, single service contract giving you lifecycle management of 3 years, 5 years, and 7 years, and that's the beauty of PrimeFlex once again. Okay? So even if you think, because there are so many intelligent people in this part of the world, especially, who talks to us OpenStack, especially in South, you have so many customers who are talking from the open source platform. In open source, if you want a solution like PrimeFlex to come in over here, we could offer you the solution. That's OpenStack. And this is PrimeFlex for HANA. So in case, guys, if you're thinking about looking in for an SAP portfolio, be it a supported, be it a certified, be it a TDI approach, be it anything what you're looking upon, deploying HANA in your organization or an SAP infrastructure landscape, we have a PrimeFlex solution for the same. So that's the beauty of, again, PrimeFlex coming in over here. 10 years of integral partnership with Intel and SAP has made us to make possible to give one of the world's best SAP benchmark ratings. I do not speak about it. It's a third-party benchmark ratings. In case if you're looking in for over here, we have a booth right on the left over here. So in case if we're talking about looking at an SAP PrimeFlex for an SAP HANA, we could deliver it the same. Last but not the least is the Hadoop thing which is going in and over here. It's the new entrant in the block which comes in from which is from the big data and analytics, which is coming in up over here. Again, a combination of a data node and a master node. We have developed an end-to-end capabilities. So if you're talking about a person coming in from Fujitsu, giving you a consulting for 2 days, we do that. We come to your organization, we do a consulting in your organization for 2 days, understand your landscape, understand the source of database which is coming in from, be it a dynamic database, be it a static database, be it a database which is coming in from various sources, what type of analytics which you want to put in over here, what type of engine which you want to make in over here, this entire thing which we give it to you back in the Hadoop. So that's an entire practice which we do in big data analytics over here. That's the PRIMEFLEX for Hadoop. Few partners which we work in over here is VMware, Citrix, SAP, Microsoft, Oracle. We work with these partners on the R&D at an R&D scale. It means when the product comes integrated into my PRIMEFLEX, I don't have to go and ask them about the lifecycle management. I know the lifecycle management. Apart from selling it to you, I deliver it to you, I service it to you. That's the capability Fujitsu carries with any of these partners. Few customers, if you think that we have not sold, we have sold ample of them to many of them. A few over here could be RBS, could be Morphy Richards, could be University of Suffolk. Few Indian customers over here, Mahindra applies in over here, Asian Paints, SAP Labs, which is back in your city, Tata Communication, Hindustan Times, Bajaj, Kansai Nerolac. Few customers who are the first-time buyers of Fujitsu as a product in their organization. We have entered by putting in our core engine, which is a PRIMEFLEX engine in their data center. Customers like Asian Paints, like Kansai Nerolac, like Shriji Polymers, Tata Communication, Symantec. We are the very few to start first. The first people to sell a multi-node SAP HANA in the country was Fujitsu in Symantec. The first people to sell a 8 terabyte scalable HANA in this country was Fujitsu in Asian Paints. So many things which we did first because of the level of expertise and the level of partnership which we work along with SAP and Intel, which makes us capable to deliver this world-class solutions to our customers. Few more, which is coming up on over here, and this is, I didn't want to have the slide, but anyway, it's come over here. In case if you think that you're looking upon a competitive landscape to Nutanix, call us. In case if you think that your organization is looking upon buying in something from NVC, call us, and that's where we work and apply upon. Last but not the least, my colleague spoke about IoT, and in case if you're talking about making an IoT or delivering an IoT from the product perspective to your stream, we have expertise end to end. The expertise, be it on retail segment, be it on police department, manufacturing, smart city, environmental, Airbus, which is aviation, or Lee Cashier, which is the banking. IoT guys will touch us somewhere or the other. If you think that we are away from the IoT, you're wrong. The speed at which it's going is massive. It's going in a very, very full speed over here. IoT will hit your organization either as your deployment or your competition deploying it and running faster than you. So in case if you think that you would like to take the benefits of IoT, do call us. These are completely customized solution, enabled the way in which you're looking upon. There is no straight solution as such, which is made for a tailor. It is completely tailor-made over here, okay? So IoT solutions, in case if you're looking upon, get in touch with any of the Fujitsu guys. We should be able to put into the right source of people who can help you to get the solutions over here. To summarize, be it mobility, be it integration, be it software-defined, be it big data, security, or computing, be it services, be it product, be it solution, the entire ICT portfolio. If you're thinking upon, this is no more a Fujitsu who gives product, because I met a couple of people during the lunch hours, and they said, oh, you deal hardware, somebody from a very reputed talking. No, it's not only the hardware, it's the entire gamut of solution. Hardware is just incidental to me. Talking about solutions, which are very, very complex solutions which could vary from a supercomputing to a bare minimum solutions, which is putting up a small cluster. We do it all. So thank you very much for listening to our presentation. And in case if you have any queries, I'm running out of time, but I'm very much over here available. You could meet me backstage over here and ask for your queries. Thank you once again.